This General Electric washing machine was manufactured in the US in April 2004. And apart from trying desperately to tear itself apart, I think it still has many years of service left in it. The shaking and rocking didn't just start recently. It started a while ago and it's been getting worse and worse, and now I just can't ignore it anymore, because if I don't fix it, it won't live to see 20 years. So, first thing, move the washing machine forward and shut off the water. You'll most likely need a pail to catch the water from the hoses. Unplug the machine from the wall receptacle, that's the electricity. Unscrew and unhook the hoses from the machine. Remove the waste hose from the wall pipe and lay the ends in your pail. And it's a good time to pick up all those lost socks. I'm flipping my machine around because I'm making a video. You'll need to work behind the machine and probably in front too. Remove the screws holding the back panel and remove the panel. Then stand back and slowly, dramatically zoom into the back of the machine and then pan down. This machine is in tune. What are we looking at here? Well, in the case of my washing machine, this is the dampening system, which uses weights like concrete blocks, your worst enemy when you're trying to move, and of course, springs. In the case of my machine here, it's one per side, so the barrel is hung on these springs. And to further dampen it, well, you've got these air shock absorbers, which don't work anymore because the gaskets, the rings, have disintegrated with time. A good shock absorber, an air shock, would have a lot of resistance, and it works exactly like your car's suspension system. You've got these coil springs that your car is riding on, but so you don't spring all the way to wherever you're going, they also have these air shocks, shock absorbers within the coil springs. If you've never ridden in a car with bad shock absorbers, or really just dead shock absorbers, I don't think you've really lived. The shocks are held to the base of the machine and the bottom of the barrel by plastic pegs. You can't just pull those pins straight out because they have a retaining notch that you have to push in. It's much easier for me to get to the other end of the pins by removing the bottom front panel of the machine. I'm squeezing in that pin with a vice grip. And then I can either push the pin back or pull it from the other side, or both. This shock absorber is shot. The gaskets or rings have turned into something resembling really bad earwax. No, seriously, that's exactly what that stuff looks like. I keep a lot of extra parts and stuff in the back room of my workshop, and I remember keeping the dampers from an old washing machine. After some head scratching and making faces, I have to admit the parts aren't compatible. Nope. So I get the model number and look up the part online. Plan B, find someone who still sells these shock absorbers according to part number. And I'm just curious, how much would a new machine cost? So I ordered the parts and they'll be delivered in 2 days. And as you can imagine, installing a shocks is the exact same process, but in reverse.